everyone, and welcome to Little Things in Life podcast. I'm Kim.
Hey there, Ellen. I am excited to be part of this podcast, and I know we will be sharing with you some inspiration and also thoughts with everyone.
Yeah, we want this podcast to be an easy listening and a place for our audience to take away the wisdom from the Buddhist teachings. And we are part of BLIA Radiant subchapter, and we will be inviting guests from various Foguangshan as well as BLIA chapters from around the world on here to share with us their stories and how they navigate and reflect on the things that may have happened or their vision for the future and also their insights.
Yeah, and the reason we want to start this podcast is really to share with you all these different wisdoms from the Dharma that, hopefully can help navigate every aspect of our life. It is definitely in all our minds. We want everyone to, including our guests, be able to sit back, relax, and really share their wisdom, insights, and simply their thought process.
Yeah, Ellen, are you bothered by little things in life like the news? We're all bothered by the news. The driver that cuts you off on the road, or finding yourself feeling upset over things like be it what people may say or not say, or peeved about what people do or not do. Do you wish you have a little bit more joy in your daily lives?
You might have just read my mind there. I know I'm easily bothered by lots of things in life. I guess after 2 years being in lockdown, with some, restrictive lifestyle, depending where you are, lots of changes, definitely work, life has changed a lot where you can't really go to the gym anymore. I think there's been a lot more for me to have to learn to adjust. I know with this, I hope that this podcast would also give me a chance to learn a little bit more and maybe get some inspiration from our speakers that will be joining us in the future.
Yeah, talk about lockdown. I totally hear what you're saying. This podcast is about exploring these little themes, as you mentioned, like those issues we encounter when we now have to go back to the office after the pandemic, So, seeing how we can apply a bit more positivity and get another perspective that may be useful. And it's definitely worthwhile through the words of wisdom by Venerable Master Xing Yun.
Yeah, talking about Venerable Master Xing Yun, his writing has definitely been a great inspiration to a lot of people, including me. Being the founder of Foguangshan, his writing is, for me, it's personable, it's accessible, which also is the reason why I think, it gave me a great understanding of humanistic Buddhism and it made it really easy. It does help me to bring to life and so that I can actually apply it to my everyday life. And to this, I hope our audience, this will be helpful to you as well.
Yeah, certainly that's our hope. And I think, when I were reading about Master's writing, it dawned on me that he always has an ability to take things that seem so difficult and turn it into something positive and beneficial. In a way that every encounter in life becomes an opportunity for learning and growth.
Well, which comes to mind, Kim. I recently read an article by Master Xing where he actually talks about the concept of half and half. I know that our lives are literally surrounded by lots of half and half. When you look around, there are half women in there and there's half men out there. When we talk about, good and bad, we always know that there are the good half and the bad half. With this in mind, what do you think Master Xing Yun is trying to imply here, Kim?
First of all, I think that's a good passage that you picked. And certainly, I think Master was probably trying to help us to have an understanding that, we generally hold a certain level of expectation and perception of how things should be or could be. And having this understanding of the concept of half and half, as described in Master's article, means that in life we will need to really embrace the good and bad, the happiness and the sadness. And while we could always try to do our best, but there will be times when we'll have to just adjust our expectations and change our thoughts and mindsets around this.
Like what you said there, about embracing the good and the bad and really adjusting. And definitely it is, yeah, the mindset there. And I hope that we can actually take away what his writings and his wisdom, and actually find some resolutions to our problem, and maybe even find a different ways at looking at things. Deep down, we always want something that is profoundly good. I know that's what I tend to try to think. And sometimes we do, we project this kind of expectation to the outside world, and thinking that, hoping that people think that we're good, but there are also the bad side of us, or the bad half of us doesn't seem to align with us sometimes. And I think it can be a bit disappointing, but it is hard to learn to accept that bad side of us. But yes, it's learning how to align with that side of us as well.
Yeah, interesting point. Mind you that seeing that good and bad is also relative and contextual, meaning that it really depends on the circumstance and the time and the space at which it happened, right? And how you perceive it. So oftentimes when you look at life as suggested by Venerable Master's writing, it gives you an insight into our human experience from a Buddhist point of view in such a way that it could really be helpful to us in many ways. It certainly helps me in giving me an inner compass to navigate life, and certainly eased a lot of anxieties that I may have felt as I cope with my life challenges.
Well, talking about, life challenges, one of the niggly thing that is, well, annoying me right now, I know it's very menial, is literally online shopping. I know, Kim, don't roll your eyes, please. Delays in delivery, I know I always want my things right away, but obviously that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, I'm not rolling my eyes. I can totally feel what you feel. And we're really spoiled after the pandemic, really, because we used to have to change, drive to the mall, get in the line to pay, and return the car, pick up your car and drive back just to buy something, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it takes up to an hour to get a simple shopping done, which, well, for now it's way too long.
Yeah, I know. Do you find that times have seems to have moved faster since the pandemic?
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, working from home means there are more times for us to pretty much manage our chores and errands while we're, during our lunch break. Normally we can do our grocery shoppings, our shopping, our weekend planning, all done within a lunch break now.
All online, right? Yeah,
Yes.
back to your comment about online shopping, it's so funny. At the onset of the pandemic, if online shopping was a very pleasant experience for me because it's like you're getting a special gift from someone. Actually, it's from yourself. And every morning when you open up a box, and it wasn't even anything. It was just probably a toothpaste, right? But now the pleasantness, that joy is gone. And if your package does not arrive the next day, and I know it won't arrive, then I just don't buy. It's really
Well,
funny. Hmm.
well, talking about patience, well, there are things like our work expectations. Everything is now, now, now. I know, being late for a meeting for say 1 minute is late. And obviously, with deadlines as well. And obviously there are things like office politics and different cultures and age gaps.
Yeah, all these interesting modern day issues that we can navigate through. And this is certainly where the Buddhist teachings can help us to find better ways to cope with this and have a different perspective, and to also find ways to communicate and relate to our colleagues, our families, our friends, and most importantly, having a deeper understanding of ourselves.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, Kim. It is important to have the right mindset because we do face many uncertainties in our lives, and with just some more resilience and especially in responding to the changes in our environment, it's very important to do so.
I know it's just so many things are just so different nowadays, and be it work, lifestyle, having to embrace the good and change and accepting of imperfections in our lives. And but having this understanding that it could also be a matter of perception and realistically see what we can do about it as well. Um, Ellen, I'd like to tell you a little fun fact about this podcast. Little Things in Life is inspired by Venerable Master's book in Chinese, 人间万事, which translates to Life's 10,000 Affairs. Did you know that?
Actually, yes, I did. That's the reason why I started reading these passages from him. I know that he used to, he writes an article literally nearly every day and publish it on the Maritimes. And actually, it's a really good read, and these passages does really help us sort of navigate our life. And I think sometimes we forget that a simple words of wisdom like this can be helpful, and to just change our mindset and help with our perspectives.
Yes, and certainly we will be exploring topics, be it work, lifestyle, how we embrace the good and the bad, and how did we deal with things, including looking at imperfections or perfections you otherwise have, and most importantly, understand that it could be a matter of perception and understanding those perceptions, and realistically see how and what we can do about these things in lives.
We hope to continue these chats in the future episodes.
Certainly. So we welcome you to take a break with us and join us as we catch up, open up, talk about little things in life. We look forward to meet again on air. Goodbye.
Bye.